My husband and I, we first got married way back in 1995, and actually neither of us had been involved with Young Life. We contacted the area director and just decided that that was it. That's what we were going to do. I was teaching high school at the time, and my husband was teaching junior high, and we thought that would be a perfect fit. And so that's where our journey started with Young Life, as far as being leaders. Well, I first met Amy at, I think, a baseball game. That's my earliest memory of her. And I remember her being a cheerleader, and she was just this peppy little thing. You know, a lot of kids, when this adult is like coming up to them at baseball games or, at school, they're kind of like, what is this person doing here? And Amy was just super friendly from the very beginning and welcoming to us. And so it made it really easy to get to know her and to become her friend.
I don't really remember meeting her for the first time. She just would be there, would be at my games or would be at an event, and there Alyssa was, or Dave, or her kids. She just was around.
We had her over for dinner. I remember just her coming and just wanting to learn.
Alyssa and her family, they were the first real Christian family I had ever really seen. She was different and she was kind. I loved watching her be part of her family. I loved watching her be a mom, and I loved being a part of her family.
I just remember just being present and being there with her and just kind of walking through life. You don't know as a leader what kind of impact you're having on a kid, and you don't know. I mean, sometimes I felt like I was just stumbling over myself and that I was actually not a very good Young Life leader.
She has always thought she was a bad Young Life leader, I think, or she could have been better. And Alyssa was exactly what I needed. She was Jesus to me.
I didn't even know that I was having that much of an impact on her, but it's just really cool to see her journey. There's just a closeness there that I have with her that even if I don't see her for a long time, we can pick up and we can have deep conversations, and it's just a neat foundation that we have that I know will be there forever.
Becoming a Young Life leader was an act of faith for me. I knew when I was a senior in high school that it was something that God had planned for me, even though I really didn't want to do it. I still can't believe I said yes. Here I am 11 years later still being a Young Life leader. So I met Tatum when she was a sophomore. You could tell right away she was the cool girl, and I was intimidated of her because of her coolness and her cuteness.
She kind of just came right up to me, introduced herself, and I was really taken aback. I was like, who is this person, this adult that wants to be my friend? I'm not sure about this.
One of the very first times we met one-on-one, she was taking selfies of herself and sending them to her friends, and I thought, this is a whole new world. I don't even know what I've gotten myself into. I'm so uncomfortable. And so our relationship was kind of awkward at first. We would go to coffee and she would tell me about her life, and I didn't poke her and prod her a lot. I kind of just let her talk to me.
She was just someone I could really go to and talk to whenever I needed it. She would drop everything she was doing just to see me, get coffee with me.
And every once in a while, I'd get the rare opportunity to say, what do you think about God? But at first, those questions were really few and far between. And as she got older and as I became a little braver trying to talk to her, our relationship grew and became more real, and I think more centered on God.
Amy was impacting my life more than I realized. She was such an example of everything I wanted to be, because she just radiated God's love and joy, and that was something I had never seen before, never experienced before in a friendship. I wanted to be a Young Life leader in college because my Young Life leader made such a huge impact on my life that I wanted to do the same for another high school girl.
I have learned being a Young Life leader that God is steadfast and He is long suffering, and Tatum paints that picture really well for me, because when I met her as a sophomore, she was nowhere near a real relationship with God, but today, gosh, she has changed so much, and I've only been part of her life for 5 or 6 years. So being a Young Life leader has taught me that God is pursuing people for a long time, and He is steadfast and faithful in all of that.
God loves us exactly where we're at. I think that's what Young Life is all about, is meeting kids where they're at and hanging out with them and telling them that they're loved exactly as they are.
He's the one working, and we are just joining in on his work. And that's really takes the pressure off, too, because sometimes we feel like it's all on us. But it's really just obeying where you feel like he's leading you. Through it, he's just taught me to just trust him, to put one step in front of the other in terms of where he's leading, and he'll do the work.